Tony, a man perpetually haunted by an empty wallet, decided to take a leap of faith. He'd heard whispers of a mystical talisman, a Susuk anti-Miskin, promising wealth and prosperity. Intrigued, he sought out the legendary Mbagambol, a renowned, or so he'd heard, mystic, dwelling deep within the heart of Jakarta. Mbagambol, a wizened old man with a twinkle in his eye, welcomed Tony. His hut, a chaotic mess of incense and strange trinkets, smelled vaguely of cloves and disappointment. Tony, a little unsure, explained his predicament. Mbagambol chuckled. "Ah, yes, the Susuk anti-Miskin! Very powerful." With a dramatic flourish, Mbagambol produced a tiny shimmering needle. "This, my friend," he declared, "will banish poverty from your life." Tony, a mix of nervousness and excitement bubbling in his stomach, agreed. The ritual was swift, a blur of chanting and incense smoke. As Tony left, Mbagambol's parting words echoed in his ears. "Remember, the Susuk works in mysterious ways." The next morning, Tony woke up feeling strangely optimistic. He even whistled while brushing his teeth, a rare occurrence. He decided to treat himself to a fancy coffee, certain that today his luck was about to change. Reaching for his wallet, he froze. His debit card was gone. Frantically, he checked his online banking. Empty. His heart plummeted to his stomach. The Susuk? Had it backfired? Had Mbagambol tricked him? Panic swelled, quickly followed by a burning rage. He knew exactly where he needed to go. Bursting back into Mbagambol's hut, Tony was a man possessed. "Mbagambol, what kind of sorcery is this?" he roared, waving his phone in the air. Mbagambol, calmly sipping his tea, raised an eyebrow. "Ah, Tony! How is the Susuk treating you?" he asked, a hint of amusement in his voice. Tony, sputtering with indignation, pointed at his phone. "Treating me? It's cleaned me out. My account is empty." Mbagambol, still remarkably calm, smiled. "But of course, my dear boy. The Susuk anti-Miskin worked perfectly." Tony stared, bewildered. "What do you mean?" he stammered. Mbagambol leaned forward, his smile widening. "It banished the poorest thing in your life, Tony. You." Tony stared at Mbagambol, his mouth agape. The realization hit him like a bucket of cold water. He was the Miskin the Susuk had banished. He was the poverty in his life. He looked around the dusty hut, at the old man sipping his tea with an infuriatingly smug look on his face. For the first time, he saw the humor in the situation. He had been so focused on finding an external solution to his problems that he'd overlooked the most obvious one, himself. He left the hut, not with a fortune, but with a newfound clarity. He needed to change his mindset, his habits, his life. As he walked away, he thought, maybe, just maybe, this was the real treasure the Susuk had led him to.